What about the Schumann resonance?
That's different frequency.
7.83.
So?
7.83 hertz.
Yes. And multiples of that.
Yes.
So classically up to about 50.
Hmm.
But that's generated by, so you've got the Earth like this,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got the atmosphere, and you've got the ions in the air, the ionosphere at the top, and the ionosphere acts as a mirror. So if you've got lightning generating massive amounts of a huge range of frequencies of radio, that all bounces off the top. So if you've got the Earth like that, it's going like this around the Earth. And the speed of light is so fast that it goes around the Earth 7.8 times a second. So if you've got, a burst of lightning, you hear an echo of that 7.83 times a second. That's what the Schumann radiation is. And what that meant is that our biological systems, which scientists are finding out are incredibly driven by electromagnetics, incredibly driven. Every process you're talking about has got an electromagnetic component. So that, all the biological processes, the major ones, that all have not only a chemical side to it, but you can see that they are moderated and are structured in space, all of these complex molecules, to do with their electromagnetic properties. And so that the 7.83 has been a theme for through all of our generation, all of our development, all of our biological development. And therefore, it's intrinsic and very much a key part of what we do in terms of our time regulation and all of that kind of stuff. So the Schumann radiation is incredibly important to us.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we got diverted. So the key is that normally you don't see any microwave radiation because it's all absorbed by vapor, water vapor. And that means that we don't have any defenses for it. That's the problem. So if you're talking about, heat radiation or light or whatever else, yes, it does affect us biologically, but usually incredibly positively because we evolved that way. And so, but what also people are finding out, if you have the wrong sort of light and non-natural light, that can be very disturbing.
So LED bulbs also have this, I don't know if you've noticed in the camera, this sort of flicker.
Yeah.
Which is like the current being, you can see it in the camera because I think it's 60 hertz or something. And some LED bulbs are in that range. And that can also cause symptoms to some people, especially the eyes it impacts.
Yes, but also the basic frequency that's coming out. So there's two frequencies you're talking about. One is the color of the light, and the other is the spacing of that, how it's signaled. So the pattern of the reduction of the light. Mm-hmm. And so what you're talking about is like that 50 times a second. And it's 50 in Europe, it's 60 in America.
I think something like that.
And so actually, if you've got a screen which is on moving things on it, that isn't fast enough to stop it looking jerky. Mm-hmm. So they normally double it. So you're either looking at 100 cycles a second or 120 cycles a second. And that's what my laptop screen delivers to me. And it stops it breaking up. And so you've got a good flowing movement.
Yes.
So it's fundamentally what happened to me isn't surprising at all, because we have all of this extraordinary amount of pollution and our bodies are so intrinsically sensitive to it. So when we talk about electrosensitivity, there's usually two words for it. It's electrosensitivity or electro hypersensitivity. And those, like me, in the community of electrosensitive people, the differentiate the two is that everybody, even if they're completely healthy or whatever, are sensitive to electromagnetic pollution. So you just call that electrosensitive. Everybody is. No, absolutely everybody is, fundamentally. But there are a group of people, like I was, and largely now, thank goodness, aren't anymore, are electro hypersensitive. And that means that this interaction with EMFs actually causes serious symptoms. Unfortunately, and socially, what happens is they have these weird symptoms and they get better or worse depending on how much exposure they get. And nobody believes them. And what can happen is that particularly their family, if their family rejects them and said, "You're making it up," people get rather upset. And then they go and see their doctor, and the doctor said, "You're making it up." They can't get any support anywhere. And there have been cases, unfortunately, of people ending their lives because of that.